Okay, we're live. Just a walking fish. And me, a really bad idea to put me online today. I just woke up, started reading about chick embryos and human embryos, and that never ends well.
Never.
No.
You know, you start reading one chicken embryo paper and it just keeps going.
I found an entire book on chickens. A whole book on chick embryo development. And it's kind of interesting. In this one section of the book, it says, while they're talking about, I think, frogs. And a frog goes from this little lump of cells and turns into a frog. And they said it's like really interesting comment in a book on embryology. They said it's like a lump of clay turning into a space shuttle. Where have you heard that before?
A lump of clay turning into a space shuttle. I don't know.
Yeah.
You know, you see, embryology as an entire field is just wrong because Ernst Haeckel forged some drawings like over 100 years ago.
Yeah, well, yeah, and he was
can't do anything. That's the founder of Evo Devo.
Yeah, and he was brought up on charges by the Germans, but there's no record of it or something.
I don't know. I mean, God, I hate how the entire creationist argument is like Ernst Haeckel. And, we have pictures of embryos now. Like, we don't have to look at his drawings.
Right.
And any creationist that says, well, this picture of his drawings was in a textbook last year. That's bullshit. It hasn't been in a textbook since, I don't know if it ever has been in a textbook, but there's definitely not any textbooks published later than 2015 that have his drawings. That's total bullshit.
They might have some from 1950 or 1960 where they just, it's kind of like what I do every day. I Google an image, and throw it up on the screen. Mm-hmm. I didn't put any more thought into it than that. They had some stock photos. And it's ridiculous. But then when you do look at the embryos and you compare them, this part of the oh God, and I'm not ready to talk about it all yet, but there's like a 1-to-1 mapping of the tissue types and the brain stem and how it forms. The primitive streak folds in and forms the brain, and then all the other things. That pretty much happens the same way in a bird as it does in a mammal. And there's just all these comparisons. It's pretty amazing. Mm-hmm. And you look at them, and you can't come away from that not believing in evolution when you look at it in detail. Especially when you see how few things have to change in order to switch from having an egg to having a baby in a womb. Mm-hmm. It's the tissues are all there. They're all, they're just slightly modified. It's really, really an interesting story, and I'm trying to get into it. My problem is, it's the same problem when you study neuroscience. At first, you don't have a really good map in your head of the 3-dimensional structure of the brain. And they keep talking about all these connections, and you have nowhere to hang that, that information. Mm-hmm. And it's the same with embryonic development. You have to watch video after video after video, paper after paper after paper, channeling Standing for Truth, in order to get it in your head so that you understand the 3D structure and how, the dorsal maps, to certain tissue types and stuff. It's a challenge, but once you get that main structure, then you can start to move and do comparative anatomy, which is really incredible. And the place I'm going with this is I want to map it out from fertilization to limb bud development, and then I can start going and doing comparison between fishes and mammals. And that is where I can start to the problem is some of this research is not complete yet. Yeah. There's a lot of the genetics that we're still figuring out. So it's going to be a challenge to put together a good story.
Yeah, that's something I've encountered. I was originally going to make a video.
Nerve son. I like it.
Yeah, my goal was to make like the most comprehensive guide to proboscidea and phylogeny, but the problem is that there's just not enough like work on that for me to feel confident like putting out a video. And I almost finished the script. I got all the way to Elephant today, and then I was just like, I don't want to put out like any misinformation.
Yeah, that's the problem.
Yeah, and it's honestly kind of crazy if you think about it. We're in time closer to Darwin's publishing of On the Origin of Species than Darwin was.
Little interrupt.
Oh, well, you're good. We're closer in time to Darwin's publishing of On the Origin of Species than Darwin was to Newton's Principia Mathematica, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, like, physics is over twice as old, and we're still learning new shit. And, like, there was a revolution in physics less than 100 years, actually about 100 years ago now. And, we didn't even know DNA stored, like, genetic information until, like, 1956. And we weren't able to start sequencing anything till the 90s. So, of course, we have, like, gaps and shit. Yeah. We're not supposed to have everything figured out, or else there's no place for science.
Right. Yeah, and there's just so much work to be done, and it's such difficult work. I mean, when you look at like a zygote under your microscope, you've got to figure out what in that clear fluid, basically, which proteins are exactly where, and it takes a lot of work to do that. For one, one researcher can spend his entire life doing that. Fortunately for embryology, that science started in about 1900. They started, watching how things develop. So they have a lot of the, the growth structures there, but they've got to figure out what the genetics of it is. And that is where our evolution is. Like constantly they ask you, well, how did a fin turn into a limb? Well, we're pretty fucking close to answering that question. You just have to put it together. And that's my hope, is to answer that question and to put it together in a way that I can show it online. And hopefully by that time I will have some ability to produce videos and edit them.
Well, I mean, by the time we answer that question, there's just going to be more questions and stuff. Because that's, once again, like the whole philosophy of science. And then naturally creationists don't really understand that. So they're going to point to the next gap, Yep. Like, okay, well, we know how fins develop, but like, how did phalanges develop?
So I had my calculator out yesterday, and I was trying to figure out. So Erika did a 2-hour video and then a 3-hour video, and she's going to do another 3 hours today. I'm trying to figure out how many standing in poop videos will have to come out to counteract that.
Well, his current record is like maybe 1 2-hour live stream for every 10 minutes of Erika's video. So,
yep.
How many? So that's 5 hours today, which is, 6 times 30. Oh God. Ugh.
It's too early.
Yeah, it's definitely too early. So that's at least 32-hour live streams for just yesterday's videos.
Yeah, that's 30 for yesterday's, and
so you will have content for at least a month, essentially.
Yeah, and then it's going to just start coming out like in little spurts everywhere at 2 a.m. It's just going to come flying out.
I'm hoping. We officially scheduled our debate for next Wednesday.
Oh, good.
So I'm hoping that Standing for Truth can take a break from his Erika live streams to at least get one for me.
Oh yeah,
that's my goal in my heart.
So where are you having it on the?
It's on a Modern Day Debate.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Good.
This will be my first time doing any sort of debate, which is fine.
Oh, wow. Good.
Yeah. I don't know. Hopefully I'll get carried by the information and not my ability to be an asshole online and interrupt people.
Yeah, Leo was on this channel yesterday. What is it called? Agree to disagree?
Oh, that's Steve McRae's new venture, right?
Is that? No, it's somebody else.
I thought it was. Maybe, it's like agree to argue or something, or agreed.
Let's see, where the hell is it? to put a link in the thing, but it was a pretty interesting and good video. So, or a good debate, cosmology, but the guy he was debating was so. I don't know what the fuck he was trying to say. Something about if space is infinite, then there wouldn't be any room for matter to move. I mean, do you understand what the hell? What does that even mean? I think he was saying that. I don't know what he was saying. I mean, it was really hard to follow the guy's thinking. He obviously wasn't thinking at all.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of, not necessarily religious people, but a lot of like apologists either go entirely like metaphysical, and then they don't really construct many of the arguments about like naturalism,
right?
Or they try to make it entirely about naturalism, which you can't really do that. I don't know. I feel like there's not too many like middle ground apologists, which I don't know. I don't really care. Let me see if I can find that video. I know what you're talking about, though.
So, college level biology book that had heckle drawings, Piltdown Man and Nebraska Man. Oh God, can you find that for us? I would love to get a copy of that just so I can see what they were doing.
Well, she said that they provided the story behind each as a cautionary tale, right?
Oh, okay.
So I haven't learned about heckle, but in archaeology I learned about Piltdown Man and Nebraska Man, like those were covered, and I think they each had about a lecture.
Nebraska Man is man bear pig, right?
It was a peccary, something. Huh? Yeah, it was just a peccary tooth, and like some pop sci magazine, like Times or something, was like, "Oh, well, we're gonna do a reconstruction about it," and then I don't know. That was really all. There's not too much to it.
Yeah, agree to argue is Steve's new venture. Agree to disagree is Creaky Blinders and Conspiracy Cats. So, it's kind of a neat place to have a debate. I'd like to find some random evolutionist and go there and just practice debating, so I can see if I can figure out how to do it.
Did you already find the link? I just found it.
Can you post it somewhere in? You got a wrench, right?
Yeah, I'll put it in the live chat.
Yeah,
it's called "Agree to Disagree: God versus Cosmology."
Yeah, that would be good.
God versus cosmology. That's an interesting debate topic, just because I don't particularly see a direct conflict between the two. I don't know. I've never had any problems with like theistic evolutionists and stuff.
Well, I'm having a problem with all theists right now. After I'm getting more and more jaded by listening to them talk after hours about politics and what they really want to do.
Mm-hmm.
And some of them, granted, some of them are a little bit out there, like jungle jargon.
Mm-hmm.
When he called for evolution to be removed from all newspapers, articles, textbooks.
Yeah.
Basically, yeah. Like, we're going to cut that shit out of there. We're going to censor that.
So my problem with that is that's not really representative of most Christians, And same with like the whole like, oh, well, we should stone the gays and stuff. I was really surprised because on the Rages channel the other day, Nicholas Whitmire said that he was not in favor of like death penalty for homosexuality and stuff.
Well, that's
good. I was actually, I mean, like, I guess that's a low bar, but I was kind of proud of him for that. That was kind of cool, and he does seem like a nice guy. So.
Yeah, but he kind of said that because somebody implied that he may have, at least dipped into that lifestyle at some point in his life, and he would be a hypocrite or whatever.
Well, so his reasoning made sense because he said that, like, it's something that should be sin for like Christians or something, but like since America is not a sexual country, America is a secular country. It would just be best to uphold secular values, right? More or less, that's what he said. And he said that like God's commandment was for the Jews to, not engage in sexual or homosexuality, and it wasn't necessarily for like the Gentiles or for like all people. He didn't really care, which is fair. Yeah, I'm fine with that. As long as he is still okay with like gay rights, I'm chill with it.
I guess the problem I run into is where mind meets matter, that sort of thing, because human beings think in terms of having a mind, or at least culturally in the West, that's the way we think. Like we have this mind thing or this consciousness. And it's hard to see how that could emerge from physical things, right? So it's hard to believe that we can make changes in the way our mind works at a very early age or culturally and reframe reality almost entirely.
Mm-hmm.
And until we understand that, we're not going to use the science of neuroscience to teach our children and to basically teach ourselves how to be better human beings and get along a little bit better than we're getting along now. So it's this whole mind-body problem that's the point where I think the last vestige of belief in fairies has to go. You know,
the mind-body duality kind of thing. Or?
Yeah, it's all about duality, and most atheists are just as badly dualist as theists.
Yeah, I had a conversation with one of my friends who's an atheist about that, and I didn't understand his position at all. But he is more or less a dualist. Yeah,
and Immutable kind of claims to be sometimes too. And it's something that dualism is the way we operate as organisms. You know, it's sort of like the mode of operation of our higher conceptual framing of the world. We think in terms of dualism. I think that I am a thing, or a little point source spirit mind, they call it. And that is kind of the way we operate. And I think, okay, you have a mind and I can't see what's in your mind. And we have our own little private mind space, you know, and that's how we operate. But that has nothing to do with reality. That has nothing to do with the way we actually think. But the interesting thing is that you can train yourself not to think that way. And it ends up solving a whole hell of a lot of problems.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the mind struggles categorizing itself. Describing the problem of the new Mysterianism. Okay, but Mysterianism is who the hell is that? What's his name? Starts with a C. Who's the great? Was that Colin? What the fuck is his name?
Mysterianism? I have no idea. I'm probably the least philosophical person here.
Yeah. But the new Mysterianism, I'm not sure, categorize things as out there and in here in relation to our mind, since these relations use the mind as a reference. The mind, like you cannot introspect your own mind. You cannot call him again. Yeah. Anyway, you cannot introspect your own mind any more than you can watch your eyeball looking at something.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if you're looking at a carrot, can you see your eyeball looking at the carrot? You can't turn inward. So anytime you attempt to think about your own consciousness, all you're doing is you're invoking memories from the very recent past and combining them with whatever's happening in the last 200 milliseconds. And you're getting this delusion that you're looking at something, that you're observing your own consciousness. And you're not, and you can't. All you can do is make more consciousness as you go along. And anyway, this whole dualism problem, we come up with this what I call point source spirit mind. I'll type it here. Point source. And we actually, even atheists, think of their mind as a goddamn spirit, you know. So it's PSSM. It's Leo. Anyway, and it's
oh yeah. Wait,
mind,
I thought you were... Oh, sorry. Huh? Oh, I was just saying. Leo. I thought he was in a conversation with someone.
He's going to see Vouch later, whoever the hell that is.
No, it's first off, it's not Vouch. It's Vouch. I'm not going to be on his channel. I doubt that'll ever happen. He's a massive YouTuber, and I've got only 97 subscribers. So
yeah. You've already got 97? Holy shit! You're doing
Well, that's
pretty
pretty good.
Before my debate yesterday, I had 72. I now have 97. Before yesterday's debate, I had 345 followers on Twitter. I now have 359.
Huh.
So
I guess I might have
I'm thinking.
to look forward to.
Yeah, I'm thinking of going on Agree to Argue way more than Modern Day Debate, because it seems that the MDD fan base, I guess you could say, doesn't actually like. They must not be a lot of people who are active on YouTube. They just watch MDD but don't subscribe to people, don't follow them on social media or anything like that. So
That's interesting. How many views did your video the other day get?
What?
How many live viewers did your video the other day have?
I have no idea. Maybe around 100 to 120, somewhere in there probably.
Yeah, it was pretty. It got, I think, 800 views already on that thing. So that's
and the views, and the channel only has like 6K subscribers, something like that.
But the thing,
6.6K.
I think the thing about them is that they're the kind of views you want.
Yes,
it's kind of like I don't have a whole lot of subscribers on this channel, but I think they're the kind of subscribers I want.
Oh yeah,
that's fair.
Yeah,
that is kind of interesting.
Brenda was watching that debate. T Jump was watching it at least for a while, and Shannon Q was watching it as well.
Most of my subs come from a video that's not even related to like creationist stuff, which is kind of funny.
What the hell are we going to do about this, Erika? She just keeps putting out Academy Award winning material. I mean,
I didn't get to see much, but I did see that she was having this conversation with CRISPR, and there was like this really pretty like backdrop with like the thylacine, or not thylacine, I almost call it thylacosmilus, and then I corrected the thylacine. But yeah, the Smilodon skull and like the cat in the window and stuff. That was really pretty.
Yeah, and the little kitty blinking and all of that, and then there was the animation in the boat up Schitt's Creek without a paddle.
Hey, no spoilers. I haven't seen it yet.
You haven't seen that?
No, I haven't seen much. I saw the intro and I briefly tuned in for a second, and I was like, you know what? I'll just save this for a time tomorrow when I have free time. Just because I thought, I didn't do anything yesterday.
I did want to say, it just popped into my head that Conspiracy Cats has a guy that's been wanting to debate the electric universe idea, which is kind of bullshit. So
he wants to debate against it or debate for it?
No. He's got somebody that wants to debate that. So, yeah.
Like defend it?
Yeah.
Oh, that's crazy. God, there's so many conspiracies that I just simply don't understand. Like electric universe, flat Earth, that kind of shit.
The electric universe one pretty much states that like gravity is fundamentally a result of electromagnetism, and that everything can be reduced to electromagnetism essentially. And it's the reason that people propose these theories is because it allows them to propose wacky ideas like mind-body dualism and deistic or pantheistic ideas and stuff like that, and allows them to hold on to these mystical, wacky, magicy, woo-woo bullshit ideas that they have about how reality works. When reality, I'm currently in a sort of a discussion on Twitter about some guy in reference to the tenselessness of time. Can you guys still hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, my camera went out. I'm just gonna show.
I was about to say you're kind of frozen.
I don't know why the fuck it did. It did that last night in Knock stream, but about the tenselessness of time, and he keeps talking. He keeps asking me, what have you read on this? And I'm like, it doesn't matter what I've read. The data is in. Time is tenseless. If you can address the data that I've shared, by all means, attempt to. But it's very telling that you haven't yet. I mean, I don't understand how these people can just ignore swaths of data that we have for shit. Well, actually, I can't understand how they can do that because they're idiots.
Mm-hmm.
Did you figure out what the hell he was talking about with that? Matter can't. Nothing can move because the universe is infinite.
The problem is he's a flat earther, so that's why he never called it space.
The guy that you were talking to.
Yeah, he said the infinite structure of matter, because he's a flat earther. He doesn't believe in space.
God. So
he would. Like, I asked him 4 times in a row, does space-time exist? He would not say yes or no. He kept referring back to infinite structure of matter, which isn't anything. So, when I rewatched the debate, I got the impression that what he was arguing is that space is essentially matter, so that if space were infinite, then there should be matter everywhere in it, which doesn't even make sense. Like, he didn't obviously understand the difference between geometry in terms of shapes and their structure and the structure of the manifold that we're mapping that on.
Yeah.
Which
he kept conflating.
Flat earthers don't know shit about math.
The two is bizarre. I was listening to it at about
trigonometry because it's in kilometers instead of miles.
Yeah, I was listening to it at about 3 a.m. and Gavin's hostage. This must be John. I don't know. In a parking lot in Edina, which Fargo lovers should love, because Edina was where what's his name had the car dealership or whatever in Fargo.
Speaking of car dealerships,
yeah, Gavin, what are we gonna do about you? Anyway, shit. We should be better people, John.
Yeah, I know, but I mean, there's so many people out there that stick their nose into your business and their butt-inskies. I mean,
yeah, I know. Yep. Jesus. I'm tossing this guy out.
Is he keeping you in his New Zealand hideout?
Where did Leo go?
I'm right here.
Not here anymore?
Oh,
here.
Well, no, because I was watching on YouTube there for a minute, and Leo was in his.
My camera did that black thing that it did in Knox stream last night. I don't know what the fuck is up.
It didn't go black on our end. It just sort of froze.
Yeah, it's still probably frozen, isn't it?
You see, Leo, if I had been debating that guy, I would have, after about 10 minutes, I would have just been done with him, and I wouldn't have been able to say any more, and I would have just given up, because he wasn't making enough sense to criticize.
Well, that goes back to his second sentence.
Yeah, he kept going back to it. Oh, it goes back to my second sentence, and it's like, what the fuck?
Well, and then, like, when Leo tried to explain it to us last night, he gave what I thought was like a thumbnail, like a overall synopsis of what he said. When he said, shapes and colors, therefore, what I'm like, well, okay, so we'll flesh that out. What exactly? That was literally his argument.
Yeah. Shapes and colors, therefore God.
Yeah.
Which the thing is T-Jump even put that in the chat. He's like, I debated this guy on Discord. His argument is just shapes and colors, therefore God. Oh, fuck.
Crazy.
But yeah, I didn't give up on him because I try to be as charitable as I can in a debate and actually try to understand somebody's position and where they're coming from and have a discussion with them. Mm-hmm. But about 45 minutes to an hour in, I realized, this guy just doesn't. I don't even think he understands what he's saying. I sure as hell don't, and I know the two moderators didn't. That's
a noble tactic, but that can make your head hurt sometimes.
Yes, it can.
Who are the mods? Was it Creaky Blinders and Conspiracy Cats?
Creaky Blinders and Cats. Yep. Both of them are just awesome guys. Really awesome guys.
Never talked to either of them, but I watch Conspiracy Cats
fuck.
a little bit. What happened? Oh. All right. Well.
What happened?
Did I say that out loud? I'm sorry.
No, you're good.
Did you feel something, John?
No, it's just I see that whenever we're done here, I think I have some apologies to make.
Uh-oh. Fuck it. It is what it is.
What was I saying, though? I was speed muted. Anybody else have recap for this week?
Am I muted?
Oh, you were, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, let's see. Recap. Well, Standing for Truth started out strong, and he's ending kind of badly this week with Erika's massive assault on him. And
Dapper is also coming out with something this week.
Are we talking about stranding a moose?
Stranding a moose.
Stranding moose?
Oh, where did I see
moose.
that?
It's a joke on.
We
in our text last night. Standing
Yeah.
a truth is another one I call it.
I'm sitting in my car in a fucking parking lot in the middle of the night listening to me and Leo going back and forth with new names for slandering a moose, landing a goose, shitting the stoop, shading the truth.
Shading the truth. See, that's a good one.
That's a very good one.
Yeah. Slandering a moose is pretty good.
Stranding our youth, I think, would be another good one. Of course, I don't know how
Stranding
young
our youth.
Stranding our youth. There we go. I'm going to write that in the chat to you just so that.
So he remembers. What was I going to say? Oh, yeah. And Dapper is also coming out with something about the Brain Trust today.
Oh, my God. The assault on the Brain Trust.
And who's the Brain Trust?
Standing for Truth and Raw Matt and all those Nephilim and all of them.
So there's the Brotherhood and there's the
it's the Brotherhood that's like obsessed with creation and evolution. So like I wouldn't necessarily count.
Yeah, are they really obsessed about evolution though?
Huh?
I mean, are they really obsessed with evolution when you think about it?
I would say like Standing for Truth, Raw Matt. Nephi, they do that shit way more than apologetics.
But
apologetics.
But what I'm saying is, when you really analyze it, is it really evolution that they're obsessed with?
No, creationism.
So I think Dapper's video is coming out today, and it's about intellectual dishonesty, which will be interesting. I'm pretty sure there's a specific thing he's referring to. I don't know if I should spoil anything, but I don't know. We'll see.
That's coming out today, Dapper Dino?
It's coming out soon.
Let me check.
The 29th, yeah. So it's 7 p.m. today.
What? Oh, wow. It's a 20. Oh, wow. I'm 25,499 days old today.
24,599. How?
Today's your birthday?
499. Yeah, it's my birthday.
So tomorrow is 25,000?
25,500 tomorrow.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I did 25,000 last June, and I went out in the middle of the North Woods all by myself with two Glocks, a 45 and a 9. And I was walking, and I was trying to find our old hunting ground from like 30 years before, and everything had grown up. And so I walked out. So I was walking through the thick woods, and I was trying to find what we call the meteor hole, which was it's a big fucking hole in the ground that you can't explain. I mean, it's like about 150 feet across and about 100 feet deep, and they call it the meteor hole. So I was trying to find this thing, and all the roads were overgrown. So anyway, I go for this walk for like 3-4 hours, starting at about 4 in the morning. And on the way back, there's a bear paw on my footprints, the size of a fucking gigantic bear paw, probably a 300-400 pound black bear. And he followed me. It's like, why were you following me? And so all the way out of the woods, I had both guns in my hands. I'm like, where the fuck are you? It's pretty scary.
Wow, you're being stalked, huh?
I've been stalked, I think, 4 or 5 times in my life by black bears. Really? The one time me and my brother had come across a 400-pound male who followed us the entire day while we were deer hunting. Everywhere we looked, that bear would be behind us, or he'd be walking under an ore dump when we were on top, or vice versa, or we'd be having a lunch and we'd look over and he'd be sitting there watching us. And it's like, what the fuck do you want? You know, and when you see a bear that size and you have like a 30-30 Winchester, you think, I'm going to need a bigger gun.
You know what you do, though? That's the gun. Oh, well, where'd Leo go? All right, so...
It's coming and going, Leo.
Oh.
Yeah, so I hate not being able to use my fucking camera. It pisses me off.
We can see you now.
Yeah, that's why I did that. And
you're animated. But so, if you have a bear charging at you, and no matter what gun you have, you want to shoot them in one of their shoulders.
Mm-hmm.
Really?
Yeah, you want to shoot just to the left or just to the right of their head as they're coming at you. And and if you've got a smaller caliber weapon, put as many shots as you can into their shoulder.
And they'll stop. Yeah, I always thought eyes and nose, might make them think twice. But God, they can get to you so fucking fast.
Right. I mean, and then,
Bears are terrifying, like especially.
yeah, I mean, and the skull is so fucking thick, and then like hitting an eye, that's something that's moving.
hard. Yeah, especially when you're being chased by a bear. It tends to fuck up the fight. It's like, okay, what do I do now? Squeeze the trigger. You start reviewing your gun training. It's not a good time.
Speaking of this week, so I don't know if you guys know this, but there's a simulcast going on all this week with the Daily Atheist Morning Show, Nakasuchi's channel, and then I always forget the guy's name, the guy that's a comedian that is Chris's co-host or whatever on the damn show.
Andrew Hall.
What is it?
Are you talking about Andrew Hall?
Yeah, I believe so. Yeah. And
Is that Jim I or whatever? Jim I?
Jim I.
Yeah, you come on as Jimeye on somebody's show and said he was a stand-up comedian or something.
Yeah, I don't know if that's like maybe one of his non-deplume.
Yeah.
But yeah, they're simulcasting on all three channels this week, every morning between 9 and 10, leading up to the election, talking about election stuff. And then they're going to have a simulcast on election day where Knock is actually he's going to go out and vote in person on election day. And then he's also going to go out with his phone, his camera, and he's going to go monitor some polling sites to see if there's anything untoward going on.
I think there's already some shit going on. My son was telling me something that somebody being accosted. I don't know if it was early voting or what the hell they were doing, but there's already some crap going on. It's going to be.
Yeah, I already voted. I voted last Sunday.
It's going to be a weird day.
I can't remember the details of it, but they were talking on the damn show today about some shit that's already going on in Michigan.
Yeah, that's what I heard in Michigan. Something. And
it's kind of crazy that like Georgia is a swing state this year.
Yeah. And hell, Florida and Texas might be.
Yeah. Well, Florida's normally a swing state, but Texas, like, goddamn.
Texas, yeah. Yep.
Yeah, I mean, Texas is going through so many changes that Aaron Ross should maybe consider running again.
Yeah. You better call him Arn or he's going to get pissed at you.
Yeah, I know. I'm an old man.
I know.
Kill me.
I had to learn.
I have this vision in my head that I say it wrong one more time, and all of a sudden I'm 3 feet off the ground with
just
Arn,
flaming.
with Arn's hand around my neck, and
that's how I learned. I'm like 5'8". If you stretch me a little, and I was standing in front of him, telling myself, "Do not fucking mispronounce this man's name," because he is a huge dude.
Well, I mean, and the thing is, it's so weird because in my mind, I'm saying Aaron, and then by the time it gets to my lips,
it's Aaron. Yeah,
I don't know why.
Yeah, well, that's better than the creationists who managed to come up with his former name instead.
But
fucking
well,
insulting.
it's not even. Isn't it like just something that wasn't his name at all? Like,
I think he may have legally changed it. I don't know. Yeah,
I'm pretty sure like Aaron was his middle name.
I think it was his middle name. Yeah, and I think they actually pronounce it that way because Aaron is Aaron.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I remember there was something that Kent Hovind was saying that was just objectively wrong. Like instead of calling him Aaron, he was calling him like Larry or like Nelson or something.
Right. Yeah, that's because I think that's his former name.
Okay.
No, we don't know what it is. His original name is L. Aaron Nelson, and so he ended up getting rid of whatever the L stood for. I don't think it was Larry or Lawrence or whatever. That's
so they just
Hovind guessed.
Yeah.
But then he went by Aaron Nelson, and then when he got on the internet, because of he was doing some research in Egyptian mythology at the time, and there's a god called Amun-Ra in Egyptian mythology. He made a kind of a play off of that, Aaron-Ra, and then eventually actually the name stuck, and so we got it legally changed to Aaron-Ra.
So how many L names are there? There's Larry, there's Leon, there's Leroy, there's really
Leophilius.
Leophilius. Hey, that's it.
But yeah, no, I just found it funny that Kent Hovind just fucking made up a name because he didn't want to call him Aaron, which was his actual like birth middle name.
Well, I like how for the longest time, and I mean, maybe even still to this day, Aaron just calls him by his inmate number.
Yeah, that's a good one too.
Oh, last night on Praise's stream, they were defending the whole 9-year in prison thing for Kent Hovind, and they were explaining who the fuck was on there. It was Gavin and I don't know, the usual team. Praise, Gavin, and was it
the Brotherhood?
Yeah, it was a Brotherhood, and they were defending it because he actually should have been a church, and he didn't have to pay taxes, and he wasn't structuring. He was just going to the bank, taking out $9,999 every week or something.
Yeah,
there's something wrong with that.
Well, the funny thing is, he was accused of, what was it? I think like 22 counts of fraud.
Yeah.
And he was convicted on all 22 counts. Yeah, dude's a fucking fraud. And I love how they call him Dr. Hovind. Yeah, they've had other PhDs on who are actually PhDs and don't call them doctor.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I've always, and I will maintain this, like, Kent Hovind is a low-tier creationist, like, apologist, right? Like, I don't understand why they defend him so much because he's actually awful. Like, he doesn't know anything. At least, like, go to, Jensen or something, right? Because Jensen tries to do science. Kent Hovind just blatantly doesn't understand anything. I honestly think Kent Hovind's a con man, and he doesn't necessarily believe in creationism.
I mean, Kent Hovind, except for the fact that he has roped in people he's roped in this sycophant following that believes in him. There's not a dime's bit of difference between Kent Hovind and Standing for Truth.
No, not really. Other than Standing for Truth, the only difference is that Standing for Truth isn't a raging pathological narcissist.
Yeah, well, Standing for Truth also doesn't recite things that are very clearly debunked and wrong. Well, he does. I don't know. So, like, Kent Hovind, if I want to I'm going to have a debate with Standing for Truth about Neanderthals. And I know Standing for Truth is actually going to bring up, like, scientific papers and stuff. And the question is going to be more like, is he misrepresenting them? Kent Hovind would just say, oh, yeah, well, your brows grow really long when you're old. So they're just pre-flood old people. And that's just, it's wrong. Like, that's incorrect. And I think Standing for Truth even knows that, like, okay, that's a stupid argument. I'm not going to use it.
So, Brainbug Jensen. Now, for one thing, Neanderthal Jensen is not that smart. I've listened to him, and he makes mistakes, but his entire job is to create these fucking stupid Excel spreadsheets and these graphs, and then hide the data so that nobody else can reproduce them and come up with convincing arguments. And he is a dangerous motherfucker. I mean, he is. So he's just a piece of shit, is what he is. I mean, the man he's worse than Hovind because nobody's going to take Hovind seriously. Jensen can get up in front of a crowd and he can get them to take him seriously with his bullshit. So he is somebody that I really don't care for because the work he does is so in population genetics and in bioinformatics is so amateur, and he makes all of these like leaps from one thing to another. If you read his book, holy shit, it's bad.
Which book specifically? He has like 2 out, right?
No, he just has one. What the hell is it called? I forget the name. I always forget the name. It's behind me.
There's that one with the butterfly on it.
Yeah,
I forgot the name of it.
Butterfly. What the fuck is it? I don't know. But it's just a piece of shit. He makes these leaps that are just amazing. And his work, I tried to figure out how to reproduce it, and it just takes too much time to track it all down.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I don't know how I feel about that because I don't think that people like him or who's that really honest dude? Is it Todd Wood, who's like the really honest creationist? I don't think most of them are acting directly in bad faith. There's some of them that I think you could make the argument for, like Taz Walker.
I think Neanderthal is acting in bad faith. Huh?
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
My internet went out and I never finished my thought. I would say like Todd Wood and Nathaniel Jeanson probably believe what they're saying. People like Taz Walker, I definitely think he's in it for the money.
Dude, oh my God. I'm about to just do a mass shooting on YouTube. There should absolutely never be any ads on a live video or a live premiere. Not before it, not during it, and not after it.
really? Where?
Well, I've been trying because Vosh is getting ready to. He's live now, but it's just the screen up. There's not actually anything. So I was just bringing that up. Wait for him. No, not about what is Vosh doing. It's about YouTube. Like a video, it'll say live now, and you go to click on it, and they still show you a fucking ad. Like, no, dude, I don't want to watch your stupid fucking ad. I want to watch the live goddamn video.
Hey, put a link.
Christ, it's not rock. And the funny thing is, they don't realize that all they're going to end up doing is driving more people from their fucking platform, not actually making more money. They're fucking dumbasses.
Leo, tell us how you really feel about this.
I did.
Okay.
Leo, could you put a link to that video on
What video?
Put it in chat?
The stream, I think, is what he's referring to.
Aren't you watching the stream?
No, it hasn't started yet. I mean, it's live, but there isn't anybody on the screen. It's kind of like when Modern Day Debate goes live, but the debate hasn't actually started yet.
Leo, right click, copy Earl.
My OCD's kind of getting like triggered. Could you put my staple below Leo? He's the only one live, and all I can see is like his forehead.
Yeah. Speed's supposed
stapling his forehead.
Well, yeah, put the fucking link in chat.
What do you want me to put in chat?
The link to the video that you're talking
video?
about.
You mean watch his live stream?
Yeah.
Oh, why the fuck does anybody care?
I don't know. You care.
Okay.
I want to look at it. I want to. Oh, there it is. Brainbug got it. Brainbug did it. Hi, Nathan.
Nathan?
Oh, I can't do it. Well, I can put it in the private chat, but I can't put it in the actual.
No,
Leo.
It's already done.
Who's here? I can't see it past the banner.
Nathan artwork, maybe.
Nathan's here. Oh, let's see. So what the fuck? Let me try to rearrange people here. We'll put Leo on top where he likes to be.
I don't like to be on top.
Put me on the bottom where I don't like to be. We gotta have staple.
Like it on the top.
Okay.
You don't like to be on top. You and me need to talk, man.
Yeah, Brainbug. I'm a big Vosh fan. Guy is very, very well spoken. Very well educated. Knows what he's talking about. Vosh is a libertarian, socialist, anti-fascist, anarchist political commentator. Scott.
Yeah, it's funny though. You call him anti-fascist, and I was in a stream with him one night, and he was advocating for the execution of people with bad ideas.
Who was?
Bosch.
And where was this at?
It was on a stream. I was with him in with him like maybe a year and a half ago.
Yeah, he was probably memeing. He does that a lot.
No, he wasn't memeing because
I would bet he was memeing. I would bet $1.5 million he was memeing.
No, he was not. I mean, and then when he left, I'll try and find it and send it to you because then he got done and he had to leave. And then I said to the host of the room, who happened to be Steve McRae, I said, "Did he just say what I think he said?" And Steve was like, must have been like multitasking at the time. He's like, "Yeah, I didn't catch that."
And then every
Brainbug Vosh is vehemently anti-capital punishment. That's why I'm saying he was probably just trolling or memeing. That he does that all the fucking time.
Well, if I listen to Standing for Truth for more than 25 minutes, I get those same thoughts. I mean, I'm not a bad person, but I mean, I can't control the thoughts that I get. Also,
advocating for genocide isn't inherently fascist. Fascism is a very well-defined term.
Well, no, what he was talking about is like, okay, so like what he was saying is that people like fascists, or like people that, like Mr. Batman the other night, advocating for the genocide of gay people and saying that it's okay to kill them because they deserve the death penalty, shit like that. Like he was making the argument that people like that, which are so antithetical to what, humanity is supposed to be, that it would be all right to do away with that.
That really, that just, I get Bosch memeing fucking hard, because
I'll find it and I'll DM it to you, and you can look and see for yourself.
Does it make anybody else a little scared that Mr. Batman is apparently a substitute teacher?
Yeah. Fuck.
Yeah, but how often does he actually substitute? I would.
Anytime that he's around children, I am terrified.
Yeah.
Like, if it's just like 1 minute a day, if he's the fucking school bus driver, I don't care.
Yeah.
Like,
just go read, go to Answers in Genesis and look at the homeschooling material. You'll get the same feeling. I mean, that shit should not be done to children.
I wonder if when he does teach kids, I wonder if he breaks out into song periodically.
I wonder if any kids interrupt him, he calls them sir.
Sir. Oh my god, that debate with RJ was annoying as fuck.
Sir.
He's like, oh yeah, I'm not a presupper. I'm not a presuppositionalist apologist or whatever. I'm this other term that's almost a direct substitute. And then his entire argument was still presuppositionalist. Like, it doesn't matter. Whatever label you want to put on it, his entire argument was like, oh, well, none of this makes sense without a living, loving, lawgiver God. So therefore, dinosaurs are irreducibly complex and you are wrong.
What's funny is you're talking, and the way that Erika was moving made it look like she was saying it. It was.
Oh, how do you know that we're not the same person? Have you ever seen us in the same room together?
No, I haven't.
So wait. Somebody claimed that dinosaurs are irreducibly complex. What?
Well, that was Mr. Batman's argument with RJ. The debate topic was, did dinosaurs live with humans? And obviously everyone was like, it was a malformed question because obviously dinosaurs do live with humans. But he was obviously referring to non-avian dinosaurs. And he was just, Mr. Batman's whole argument was just an entire non sequitur. It was just like, okay, well, dinosaurs are irreducibly complex. Nothing you say makes sense without a loving lawgiver God. And RJ was just like, you don't know what a ceratopsid is, dude. Like, you should not be arguing this.
Well, I mean, I just don't so. The whole argument of irreducible complexity is nonsense, even when you go down to the cellular level and all that shit. But then to say that some actual creature is irreducibly complex, I don't even follow that at all.
I think they just think that all life is irreducibly complex.
They think they would probably argue, see that poster on your wall behind you, Leo? It's an irreducibly complex poster. It's like I'm about to throw an irreducibly complex fist into your irreducibly complex face and reduce the complexity of your fucking face. That's what I'm about to do.
Hey, Nathan, pay attention here. This is an irreducibly complex cartoon. How in the hell did she do this?
I know, she is nice with the cartoon.
Does she do her own animations in cartoons?
Okay,
I think so.
Why are we up this creek without a paddle? Because standing for truth, you simpering sycophant. As I've told you many times before, our paddle is broken. Between you following me around like a forlorn whelp and Kenham texting me all the time.
Is this Jensen? Oh my god, it is Jensen. I could tell by the little scruffy beard.
You're lucky I don't swan dive off this canoe and drown myself in this creek. I don't have to take this, I have a degree from Harvard, and but Dr. Nathaniel Jensen, what if I were to tell you I have a way to un-up ourselves from this very creek? You have a paddle? Sorta. You want to see it? Yes. Do you really want to see it? Yes. Are you positive? Standing for truth, if you don't show me this alleged paddle this very instant, I will personally wring your neck until your trachea snaps in my skeletal hands, after which I will use your windpipe to suck down a delicious root beer float from our local steak and shake, home of the original steak burger. Okay, ta-da! I use this baby all the time. The trick is to
wait, what did it say?
Ignoring the problem.
Head the argument about those subjects the whole time instead of conceding any kind of substantial point. I bet.
That's
So
Wait, she started to
Yeah,
say,
that
"You're
was
so
funny.
full up."
What's that?
She started to say, "You're so full up," and then you cut it off.
Oh,
far we've covered a lot.
Well, no.
including a lot of
She cut it like that
material
on
and
purpose.
video.
yeah. I don't know.
So,
I didn't.
and what is that? What does SFT think of these little videos?
I don't know. I don't. SFT was
Oh.
getting really pissy about it before the video was launched. I haven't seen his comments since then.
Well,
But
he wanted to talk to me a few days ago privately, and then he's been fucking with me ever since. He's not been responding. It's kind of like trying to set up a debate or a talk with him.
well, I mean, I was able to get my debate set up. It only took 2 months.
Yeah.
But I mean, that is fair. Like, shit happened, and in his defense, we didn't try to schedule anything for like at least one of those 2 months. So
I have a question for you guys. David Neff said he apparently knows how to get in contact with Kent Hovind, and he wants to set up a physics and cosmology debate between us two. If it happens, should I do my Kent Hovind voice the whole time?
you should come out wearing a. Well, I'm not going to spoil anything for you, but yeah,
wear a Hawaiian shirt.
yeah, a Hawaiian shirt for sure.
I need to get like a wig of gray hair that looks like his.
Honestly, I think you need to work your way up. You still got to go through.
Wait, forget the Hawaiian shirt. Wear like a fucking prison orange jumpsuit with his number on it.
With his number on it. Yeah, number on it.
Oh, that would be super fucking funny.
Yeah.
Yeah. In the comments, Standing for Truth said, "This was great. Thanks for making it. I appreciate all the hard work you put into it. That being said, it was incredibly easy to refute. This is going to give me content for the next few months at least. We'll have fun addressing every single sentence spoken, especially the Swamidass section. Wow, that was bad. No offense. Swamidass, once again, has proven he's incredibly outdated on creationist literature."
What the fuck?
Swamidass
just knocked it out of the park. I mean, he's
I like I said, I haven't seen the video yet, so I'm not really going to comment.
he shattered everything, every one of the little genetic fucking fallacies.
Okay, so I reached out to have a conversation with Swamidass, and he just redirected me to his blog, which is unfortunate, because Swamidass is actually a professor at my school.
Wow.
And I was like, oh, this is my end. I'm going to talk to him like that. I'll use my school email and all that shit. And he just sort of blew me off, and I was like, damn, that's sad. I mean, he's busy. He's researching and shit.
Fucking shit guy. Dude,
Erika
just
could help you.
yesterday, Vosh was at 251K. Now he's at 250. Dude, this guy has only been on for like a year and a half.
Yeah, well,
But he was a Twitch streamer before. That's why he came to, because he got perma-banned from Twitch.
Why don't you just marry him, Leo?
politics.
I probably would if he was single.
Politics be popular. We should do a political. I'd like to do a right versus left thing at some point. I think I'm a righty lefty.
Well, I mean, the thing is we've tried that, and the hard part is people, when you contact them on social media, they will agree to come on and hold Trump's water, and then they never show up.
Yeah,
Really? Oh.
Yeah, it's hard to get the right wingers on the stream.
I'm kind of a polar opposite of myself. So.
You could just like lure Smokey in and get him to talk about politics instead of religion.
Yeah, he's as bad as politics as he is pretty much everything else.
He is pretty
Or
bad.
praise.
I mean, here's the thing: do you ever really need to lure a cockroach?
Well, you got to put cracker crumbs down.
I'd say this for Smokey. He's very entertaining. As much as you hate him, he is funny to watch sometimes. He does look stupid.
Oh, he's a wild cow for sure.
Yeah.
The cockroach comment made me think of apropos of nothing, but like years ago, I used to travel for my company. We'd go in and we'd set up an office, and then we'd sell tickets to events for like FOPs and fire department organizations to some event. And we went to Norfolk. And so I did what I do when I'd get to town. If there wasn't like one of those by the week cheap motel places to stay at. I'd start going through the ads and looking for like a room to rent or a cheap apartment or something for while I was there. And so I found this, and I didn't know Norfolk for shit, but like I found this thing. It was like cheap as fuck, man. I'm like, oh wow, I'm gonna go check this out. And they only wanted $50 or what, like $75 a week or something like that. And so I went there, and I said, well, I gave her like 2 weeks worth, and I went into the kitchen because I was gonna, I went up to the store and I got some cleaning supplies and whatever, and I was gonna clean the kitchen up, even though it looked like nobody else that lived there was doing it. And so I cleaned the countertop off, and then I had seen a cockroach. So I took the cockroach spray and I sprayed it back behind the counter and behind the refrigerator. And then this freaking mass of cockroaches started flowing out from behind the cabinet in the kitchen. There were so fucking many of them that I thought they were going to catch up to me and knock me down. Seriously. And so I was just like, holy fuck. I went into my room. I fucking got into bed, and all night long I can hear like shit scrabbling around on the walls and everything. And I got up, I don't think I slept hardly a wink that night. And in the morning I called a cab. I said, hey, keep that money I gave you. See ya.
Wow. Yeah, that's pretty scary. My son had an office on the third floor, and he kept telling us that he heard scratching in the wall, and we thought he was like losing it, and went up there, and these fucking carpenter ants, you could hear them just eating our wood inside of this 3-season porch. It was fucking, and once you know that's in your house, it's hard to sleep.
Yeah.
And then tell you to get them out of there.
I'll tell you what, where I live, my sister, my folks used to own this building, and it's like an old church that my stepfather had renovated into apartments because we're in a college town. And then they had
live. I'm out.
Okay.
Later, man. So they, turned it into college apartments and ran it for like 35 years. And a couple of years ago, my sister bought it off them and then lets them stay in their place in perpetuity. And so I've got one of the apartments here since I got out of prison, and I've got this basement apartment, right? It's really cool. I love it. But like, so one day I'm getting garbage ready to take out. I go into my bathroom, my little bathroom, and that I always keep the door shut in because I don't want my cat to get in there. It's like I figure, hey man, I'm an old dude. I don't always hit the toilet. I don't want my cat to be going in there and getting my piss on him and shit, And so at any rate, I go in there, I grab the little waste can that's next to the toilet. I go out into the kitchen to where I've got the bag ready to take outside, and I empty the fucking waste can from the bathroom into the bigger bag, and a bat falls out on the ground.
A bat?
A live bat. And,
shit.
And then
drinking water.
Well, and then so I'm like in about 2 seconds, I'm like, well, I got to stomp it. So I reach up with my foot. I'm about to stomp it, and it flies into my bedroom. So I shut the door to my bedroom, and then eventually I got it. I went and put like a fucking hoodie on and got like thick gloves and shit. And I finally got a hold of it, took it outside. But the thing is, I went into my bathroom and I examined it thoroughly. And I'm like, the door is always shut. How the fuck did the bat get in there?
Oh, they get in through tiny little cracks.
I mean, there was no, I checked this. There was no ceiling, and then I finally figured out it had climbed through the slats on the exhaust fan.
Yeah, they're good.
So now I duct tape my exhaust fan, and there's duct tape it onto this day.
That's funny.
I'm just like, what the fuck, man? I thought I was like in a horror movie. I fucking poured the thing out. Fucking bat, man. Like,
that reminds me, back in the 70s, I was working for Erie Mining Company, and I was like a laborer, and I was watching out this gigantic drive-through garage. Do you know what an electro-haul truck is? They go from 85 to 300 ton, and you actually climb up a set of stairs to get into the cab. And anyway, this is the shop where they fixed them, and I was ripped on acid. And it was like the middle of the night, like 3 a.m. And I was hosing out this. I was a laborer, right? I used to do drugs all the time at the mine. and I was like hosing, and I saw this black thing on the wall, and I went over there, and it was a fucking bat, and it was like hissing at me, and it was like opening its mouth and hissing, and I'm like, okay, am I really seeing this, or is this the bat? And then I turn around, and there's a fucking black bear standing there, and he's just looking at me. And so I very slowly backed up. It's like, okay, this is really there. And then this black bear walks into the garage where they're working on these trucks. Well, to work on these truck engines, you have to have a step ladder underneath them, and you climb up the step ladder. I mean, these trucks are the size of fucking small. They're the size of 2-story houses, right? Yeah. So you climb, and anyway, the bear was walking around under all these step ladders where the mechanics were. And then they finally noticed. I mean, it was just the weirdest thing. And this bear kept coming back, and like he kept like, it was such a fucking bizarre night. But when you're ripped on acid and you see a rabid bat and a bear within 5 minutes, you got to wonder, should I be doing drugs at work?
So what was the name? What was the name of that company again?
Erie Mining Company.
So does it have anything to do with
taconite?
Huh?
Taconite company. They make taconite pellets.
No, I'm talking about the name of it. Does it have anything to do with its first name as far as its location goes?
Well, yeah. Pittsburgh is where all the smelting was done. So Lake Erie. So they named it Erie Mining Company. It was
okay.
Bethlehem Steel was the parent company. But
okay.
I worked in this gigantic plant with tunnels, and like they had fucking old buildings with old machinery that looked like something out of Alien.
Right.
And I would get ripped out of my mind on midnight shift and go out there, and it was really cool.
So, are you in PA right now?
Oh no, Minnesota.
Oh, okay.
The Erie Mining Company, the taconite plants are in northern Minnesota. That's where they make the pellets. They turn low-grade ore into high-grade taconite pellets. And I used to work in the taconite plants. And they are quite an operation. It gives you wonder, for what they have to go through to make iron, you wonder if there ain't a simpler way. Pretty amazing.
What's with the smoky thing on the screen?
Anyway, Godless Girl versus Will Kincaid.
That'll be interesting.
Huh? Yeah.
That'll be interesting.
Where is that going to be at?
I think on Will Kincaid show.
Oh wow.
They can have like, I think G-Man or something in there. So I guess it's like
they're both pretty much trolls, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I mean, that ought to be epic.
So, like Godless Girl, she's infamous for some of her videos, like where she bought lobster with her food stamp card and then fed it to her dog. And then she did like a video where she went to some like high-end like department store and bought like this really expensive like lotion or skin products, and then she went home and she took the fucking shit out of the bottle and replaced it with some cheap ass fucking lotion, and then took it back and got her money back.
Oh wow.
Oh my god.
Yeah. I've been really interested in her since she passed out during her debate on Modern Day Debate.
Oh my god, I fucking remember that. That debate was a shit show. That was like her and T-Jump versus Smokey and Music Analyst or whatever.
Yeah.
Passed out.
Yeah, well,
She first went to the gas station to get like cigarettes or some shit, and then she went to sleep in the middle of the debate.
And then she wakes up and talks and actually makes sense. And then every now and then she would wake up and she would vape. And I was like, okay.
She just like blowing clouds into the camera. Yeah, it was funny as fuck.
It sounds like that one Patton Oswalt routine where he's talking about open mic night and how this heroin addict used to show up for mic night, and he'd like say a few sentences, then he'd pass out and his head would rest on the microphone, and then he'd wake up like 2 minutes later and continue talking as if he hadn't missed it. You know, like
that's exactly what she was doing. And I'm like, oh my God, this is the daughter that I want. I mean, I would be so proud of her if she was my daughter. It's like, fucking great. Anyway. Okay, I think we're going to kill this thing. Okay, guys?
All right.
See, I have to go figure out who I am. I just woke up about an hour or so ago. So
All right, guys. Hey, thank you for letting me come in. Goodbye, everybody in the chat. I think I'm going to get beat up now, but we'll see how that turns out later.
no, you'll have to tell us about that. We could. Okay, we're going to end this. Anybody else have anything to say?
I'm probably gonna have a debate with Standing next week, so that's cool.
Okay, on Wednesday, right?
Yeah,
We are doing an after show for fucking sure.
Hell yeah!
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
My final words are # John Maddox is a grifter.
Okay. Okay, ending. We'll see you guys out there. Goodbye, Brainbog Icarus. Vesta, Eric, everyone. Who did I miss? Stephen Haskins. I think he's new. Anyway, bye.